What's up, guys? So on this video, we are going to go over how to enhance the implementation. What I mean by this specifically is how this is the strategy behind a really scalable approach, right? So when you're sending messages from a lot of accounts, you really need to have a good strategy to basically not fatigue the market. Okay. And also you need to have a really good strategy to make sure you're testing correctly, to make sure you're reaching out with the best possible scripts. And the only way to really do that, best scripts and angles, and the only way to do that is through testing. Okay. And so we're going to get into KPIs. We're going to get into lead magnets. We're getting into lead magnets, like I said, kind of all the different lead magnets, how to use them. We're going to go into tracking, and then we're going to go into following up. We're not going to get into how to carry conversation because that is the next video. And honestly, this is a super important one as well. They're all important, but this one, so yeah, just this is basically everything around the messaging except for the conversation, like how to actually carry conversation, what 99% of your conversations will look like. All right, so let's get right into it. In terms of messaging, we talked about this when we were going over how to think about script writing. Okay. So there's 7 different types of outreach scripts. So we got and this is by my boy Lockie right here. So please hit him up on Twitter. This guy has his outreach down. Okay. So if you need any help with anything, hit my boy up. He's amazing. He does organic stuff. But freaking salute my boy Lockie, because he really is, he's the guy. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to him. He is amazing at outreach, and an amazing guy. So here we go. He says there's 7 different types of outreach here. So we have the interest-based call to action, the direct approach, the bait and switch, the interview method, the problem call out, the sales letter doc, and then the Loom video. Okay, so those are 7 different types of outreach methods or different outreach scripts that you can try out. And in here we have both the format, and then we have script examples as well that you can either just swipe or just go with the format, right? And then you can go from there. But so those are basically the 7 different angles that you pretty much always want to be testing. Okay. And now, how are we going to know which one is performing the best? So what we need to do here is, honestly, we typically for Twitter want to be at least 3% plus to keep testing. Okay. So after the first 500 to 750 messages, like if after 500 you've gotten no replies, then you need to switch it out because it is just not working. But if after like 500 messages, you're sitting at 2.5, etc. If you're like 2.5, and you're kind of getting replies, but you don't know if it's working too well, then just let it run till 750. Okay. And then once you're at 750, you want to be at 3% plus. Okay. If you're at 3% plus, then you want to let it run just a little bit longer. And that means like 3% plus is doable, but there's still fixing, there's still tweaking, there's still optimization to be done. But ideally, you want to be at 5% plus reply rates. Okay, so if you're at 5% plus, those are going to be the winners. If you're at 7 plus, then those are freaking insane. And you do want to be careful, because sometimes, like for example, with the bait and switch approach, right? Bait and switch approach, you will have reply rates of over 5%, but then a lot of those are going to be like not, like you won't be able to work with those, right? So if you say, for example, like you don't want to kid yourself is basically what I'm saying, because you can have, in this, just to clarify, this is for alternate accounts sending messages. This is not for, say, someone with a big account sending messages to their followers, because there you want to be having like 50% plus if you're sending out to your followers. But so these are the KPIs if you're sending to just people that don't know you. So cold outbound from alternate profiles, obviously that went through the whole optimization process, right? But this is where you want to be. But going back to my point, you don't want to kid yourself. Okay, so if you have like a 20% reply rate, but you're just like, hey, good morning. If you have like a really like I don't know, like a seducing picture, right? Or if you have like someone really, really attractive as the profile picture, and then you're sending like, "Hey, good morning," then you probably will get a super, super high reply rate. But then you're going for the bait and switch, but that's like a really, really, I don't know if it's unethical, but it's like a bait and switch that you can't really do too much with. Like, yes, everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, good morning," and then that's gonna be it, right? And then how do you kind of navigate that to get them to wherever you want to take them? Kind of hard. So you want it to be you want it to be this, but with like some kind of clear road, a clear path to where you want to go. Okay. And so you do want to be careful with the bait and switch. So again, you ideally just want to go through, if not all 7, if you say you already have some experience and you kind of already know which ones you want to get, like which ones work best. Like say, for example, the Loom videos just don't work for your niche, then just skip Loom videos and then hit everything else, right? Or if you don't have a sales letter, then just skip the sales letter and then just do everything else. Problem call out, the interview method. The interview method is honestly really, really interesting. And I don't know if Lackey came up with it. I don't know who came up with it, but this is like a really, really interesting one. So it's basically like here. We can go into the script like, "Hey, first name, we're making a white paper for B2B startups and key strategies to boost leads, drive in pipeline. With your experience at company, I'm convinced many companies would highly value yours. Would you be open to adding a few points?" So it's basically just getting people on an interview. And this can help for like just outreach, for research in general. But then like if in like through the interview you find out that this person has like some really, really like strong pain points that you can solve, then be like, "Hey," like after, maybe even after you're done recording, just be like, "Hey, so you talked about this, we actually helped XYZ do XYZ. Obviously like no pressure, but I think we can really help you out," right? And that's after you just had a quick interview with them. So there probably was a little bit of that rapport being built. So that is like a method that I honestly don't see too much. That might be really, really effective. So you might want to try that one out. Bait and switch. Again, tread cautiously, okay, with the bait and switch. The direct approach, I'm more of a direct approach, or one that isn't listed here, which kind of is with the sales letter doc in the Loom video, is the freebie method. Okay, so pitching lead magnets, which is what we're going to go into right here. So this is, again, like I said in the script, in how to think through script writing, it's just an easy way to get your foot in the door without going full on with like your full scale offer, right? So there's a couple different combinations that you can do. So you can either pitch lead magnets with like through the call. And what I mean by this is you can like pitch the lead magnet right away. And then you can also make it an incentive to make people hop on the call, right? So you could straight out, like right off the bat, like the message that we were recording, the message that we wrote out for when we were setting up Drippy, right? That was along the lines of, "Hey, like free scripts," right? So you can do the free scripts, and then instead of sending them just directly through the chat, you can, and we're going to get into this further, but just a quick little sneak peek of the next video, you can just like let them know that is what they're going to get. Like, "Hey, we need to hop on the call to kind of go through this." So then that's kind of how you squiggle your way into a call. Plus, you can add more bonuses to incentivize people to actually hop on a call with you, which is what we're going to talk about here. Okay, so it's in the next one. I'm getting excited, man, because like incentivize people to hop on a call. I think not enough people are doing that. I think not enough people are giving people incentives to have them hop on a call. But if you're like, "Hey, you're going to get free scripts, you're going to get a free strategy session, you're going to get free lead list, and then you're going to get free XYZ. Just for hopping on the call, you're going to get access to a free course, you're going to get access to a free community, you're going to get access to a database of 4 million plus leads, like that are specifically looking for your service." People are going to hop on calls, right? Because they're incentivized to do so. And then once they're on a call, then you can actually show them what you're all about, and make the sale a lot easier. But you made them hop on a call. So that was kind of straying. But getting back to the lead magnet, by definition, and this is from Alex Ramosi. If you go to this video right here, this is where we took the lead magnet definition from. So it is a complete solution to a narrow problem given away at a significant discount or free to attract an ideal customer. So basically what this means is you're going to lead to the problem that you can solve next. So you're giving a narrow You're given a solution to a narrow problem and then presenting more solutions at a price for the subsequent problems. So you're going to solve issue one, but then after solving issue one, they're going to have issue two, three, and four, two, three, four, and five, and then those you can actually charge for. So that is why the pitching a lead magnet right off the bat works really, really well. Number one, it's really easy to get yeses to free stuff, right? Really easy to get yeses to free stuff, so reply rates will be high. And then you're giving them free value, so they know what you're about before they actually have to commit any time or significant amount of money to what it is that you eventually want to sell them on. So they're getting value, they're getting to know you, they can see the quality of your work, and you solve their narrow issue, but now they have issue 2, 3, 4, and 5 that you're not going to solve for free, obviously, and that's when your paid stuff comes in, right? So it's I don't know if it's a sneaky way to go about it, but it's a kind of a value-driven sales process, if you will. I kind of like that wording, and it just came up with it. I think I've heard it before, but I didn't came up with like that. But for this specific example, like that's what it is. It's a value-driven sales process. And I think that is what the marketplace is missing right now. Not very many people are providing value before actually hopping on the call and then incentivizing people to hop on the call. So this lead magnets do all that. Okay. So they provide value before asking for the call, before hopping on the call, and then they're incentivizing people to actually hop on the call. So there's a couple different types of lead magnets, of freebies, and these are all from Alex Hormozi, which you can see that right here, exoscene.com/training/leads 3. That's the specific video, also from his book, $100 million leads. So there's 3 different types of freebies. Number one is going to be those that reveal a problem, just a free trial or like a taste of what they're going to get, or step one of whatever, right? Step one of 5 steps. So reveals a problem, right? So, hey, we made an audit, and then this is the problem you have. This is like how we can solve it. We've solved it for this many people, but you like through an audit, you're letting them know that something is wrong, and then you're letting them know how you're going to fix it and kind of what that means in terms of what the vacation is once you fix it, right? And there is a difference between good and bad audits. Just because you're sending an audit doesn't mean it's good, okay? You really, really, really need to go super, super in depth. Like if you're doing an SEO audit, you can't just be doing like, hey, just going through their website, like, hey, I don't like the font on here. I don't like if you're doing a website audit, right? Because I've had people do like SEO audits, but it's just like a website audit. And they go like, hey, I don't really like the font. I think you changed the wording. I don't like where this like not very valuable, right? And they don't really tell you what you're going to get out of their service or what you're going to get out of just like implementing what they're telling you. So that's not what you want. What you want, and I can give an example of a client that does Amazon. So he's like they're an Amazon only marketing agency, right? So for e-com stores, and they do like a 17-page audit, and then they go on a call and they explain it and like super in depth. Like I'm not an e-com guy, but when I watch his audits, it's crazy because I can actually understand what he's talking about, right? And it's like he goes into the numbers and he goes like, hey, so this is happening here, and so this could mean XYZ, and this is how we would fix it, and then you would get like an extra whatever dollars, right, because of the ad spend and whatever it is, right? But that's what you want. Like you want to provide a lot of value through these things. Loom video, again, these work if they're valuable. If you're doing like an audit on something, you can do it through a Loom video, and we're gonna get into like kind of how to place them so that you actually end up hopping on a call in the next video. Case study, again, this is what ideally you want these case studies to be as close to pretty much in the same niche as whoever you're reaching out to. And then you could send over like valuable PDFs, docs, sheets, Notion, community, whatever it is. And then or evaluation, again, this reveals a problem. So it's like, hey, or not a problem, but it reveals, I guess it does reveal a problem. So it's like it reveals information that now that they have that information, they can see the problem in a new light, right? And so and you show yourself as the solution. So that's why this works. Another one, free trial or just a taste. We all know this one. So, hey, doing some work for free, limiting some component, or like for a SaaS, this is really, really like pretty much all software companies do this. So like, hey, you get a 14-day free trial, or you're like limiting some component, or it's like an unlimited free trial, but you only get this many credits, right? Or just work for free. Or like an agency that will do like a free setup or something, right? Or the free setup is down here, or the free trial could be the free 15 days or whatever it might be, right? So, and then free step 1 of 3. So you could do some free scripts, you can do some free lead lists, you can do a free setup, et cetera, et cetera. And so those are kind of the components that you need to enhance your implementation. I think the most important part here is this right here. So knowing when to start like changing things out and kind of where to, like, what angles you want to be taking. Now, super, super, super important. Now that we know what lead magnets are, and in the next video, we're going to get into like actually how to implement those through the conversation. But super, super important. Not enough people are doing this. It's the tracking, guys. So right here, you will have a link to this tracker, and I want to show you how to use it. So say you're reaching out today, so March 31st. So let's say it's March 31st, and then we are sending from this account, and then this is where the prospects profile link will go. So twitter.com/me, right? So that's my Twitter link. And the name would be Alex. And so this is kind of how you're going to start filling out your tracker. The account is what account you're sending from. The profile link is the prospect to whom you're speaking, stage, if they're interested, if they're not interested, if they are a potential referral, if they booked a call, if you sent the booking link, wherever they're at, this is where you're going to track it. So if they're probably interested, right? Because you don't want to have people on your tracker that aren't interested. And so now you know when they replied, and you know what stage they're at, and you know what their Twitter is. So if you're doing outreach from one of the fake accounts, and then your fake account gets banned while you're trying to replace it, you have a database that will allow you to reach back out to the interested prospects to whom you were speaking without just losing all the data from the accounts that got banned, right? So this is super, super, super important, not only for that, but then also just for follow-ups, right? Because follow-ups are super, super key. There's a lot of money to be made in follow-ups. And so this is super, super key. I honestly can't emphasize how key this is. And it's crazy how few people do this. Okay. And basically how this works again. So you just do the date, you do the account from which you're sending. If you have like 100+ accounts, then I would just delete this. So you could just plug in a name, profile link, name, interested, and then any notes over here. So for example, if you have like a sales team, then you want to have notes here to be able to then pass on for like the setter team to be able to pass on to the sales team. Okay. So that is how you want to run the tracker. How you're going to make a copy is you're just going to go to file, then you're going to make a copy, and then that is going to be your very own. So you won't be able to edit the one linked down here, but you will be able to make a copy, and then you can just go off of that one. All right. Now on to the follow-ups. So once again, my boy Lackey helped us with the follow-ups, and this is where we're at. Okay. So follow-ups really depend on your niche and kind of where you're at in the conversation. Okay. But this is pretty much where you want to be. For the initial follow-ups, you can do it directly on Drippy, but then if they reply to the initial message, but then ghosted, so let's say you're just speaking to the prospect and then they ghosted. So just the next day, just send a quick name, ? And then 2 days later, like, hey, still with me? Thoughts, name, is this still relevant? Day 6, send funny. You can send like a funny or friendly GIF. Another really good one is you sending your sales assets. Okay. So, hey, here's a quick video. Like if you have YouTube videos, like, hey, here's a quick video of whatever it might be, right? That might be useful for them. Or, hey, here's a quick testimonial going from this person and then you want it to be somewhere in their same niche or someone in their same niche. Like, hey, here's a testimonial from another agency owner. talk about how we just made them 100K this last month. Or here is a quick case study going over how we managed to book 150 meetings for another agency this last month, right? So hit them with value, And honestly, if they're interested and they just stopped replying, I would not stop following up with them until they either book a call or tell you to stop. And that might be a little much for some people, but if you have no clue how many deals we've closed just because of the follow-ups, right? And you don't want it to be like super spammy. Just like keep giving them value and value and value and value until it's actually just undeniable that you know what you're talking about and that you can get them results. And so after the sequence, I recommend just doing one per week, right? So just send them one per week. If you're putting out content, then I think it's pretty much perfect because you can just shoot them out new content or any like client client screenshots work really well. So I don't know, if you're on Slack and then a client's like, hey, just closed XYZ from like one of your leads, or just any wins that your clients are getting, just screenshot and send them over like, hey, here's another win. Hey, here's another win. Hey, here's another win. And it's just a matter of time, honestly, if you just keep hitting people with value. But then once you actually hop on a call, you have to really over deliver, right? So yeah, that is pretty much it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Really, really excited for you to start. But by this point, I'm guessing you've already started your campaign. So if you have any questions on your campaigns, again, just go to dm.me/DM. And then you can send me a DM right there. Oh no, it's not dm.me, it's dm.new. dm.new/DM, and then that's going to open up, because I'm not logged into Twitter. That's why it's not showing up. But if you go to dm.new/DM, then you are going to message me. So if you have any questions, just shoot me a quick DM. I'll just put it down right here. dm.new/DM. So that right there, that is a link to my inbox. So just hit me up there, There we go. So that is a link to my inbox. So just shoot me a message there and I will be more than happy to assist you in any way I can. Appreciate you and speak soon.